I didn't want to talk about this, but I had a lot of people private message me and call me up, friends, family, and yes, I got text messages from supporters from the show. What are your talks? What are your thoughts? Thoughts. I'm keeping that in there. I'm not editing that out. What are your thoughts on the Tesla protests? What are your thoughts on people going? And so I think one person who's very conservative is like, hey, Kit, you don't condone what's going on with people's vehicles being tagged and destroyed. And I think I have to do this segment because there was a lot of protests over the weekend. And I want to be very clear. I do not support people's vehicles and property being destroyed. Okay. And I think when you see Tesla owners who destroy their Teslas because they want to get back at Elon Musk, I put that comparison and I laugh at those people, at the same people who were destroying their coffee machines or burning their shoes when people were taking a knee for Black Lives Matter at sports events, everything else. You had athletes or actors, doing that, whatever, activists. And the thing is, if you're going to destroy the product, guess what? The company still is like, okay, I still have my money. I don't like it when someone's private property is destroyed because you don't know who that Tesla driver is. You don't know anything about them. Perhaps they just like to drive a Tesla. Here's a shocking revelation. A lot of people are not politically in tune. And the worst thing you do is force somebody into the political environment because a lot of people just don't care about politics. Okay. That's the real truth of it. I don't like it when somebody is either being followed or has a swastika drawn on their car. No, I don't like that. And so there's been a lot of protests, glorified parades at Tesla dealerships. Elon Musk is out there. Oh, it's just like protesting in front of Trump Tower here in Chicago. That's not a government building. It's not a government building. It is a private building. And you're not even protesting in front of it. You're across the river. You're doing a nothing burger, and calling even a nothing burger is an insult to nothing burgers. So here we go. Over 200 Tesla takedown protests take place throughout the U.S. on a global day of action against Elon Musk's role with Doge. You want to make an impact? Go ahead and bring it in front of Washington, D.C. Okay, if you're going to do a glorified parade, organize everybody there. But going in front of the Tesla dealership, that dog just ain't going to hunt, okay? And here, I attended 2 Tesla takedown protests. One generation showed up more than others. So on Saturday morning, I observed nearly 400 protesters gather outside a Tesla showroom in Ann Arbor, Michigan. What's that going to do? Okay, they were armed with flags and cardboard signs, and they said they felt like America's democracy was under siege. We don't have a democracy. We have a constitutional republic. And calling it a constitutional republic is a long stretch because we have an oligarchy, because money in politics, baby. Give me that money, money in politics, okay? Yes, Rich, protesting for dummies. Hang on, protesting for dummies. It's that it. Oh, by the way, Torwin, how many of these people were paid? My guess, at least 80% of them, because I watched Due Dissident's live stream when they covered the protest, and they said something that sounds shockingly familiar from what I've heard from other people who were talking or said to me, hey, Kit, I was at this Tesla protest. You wouldn't believe what happened. It's like on the clock they showed up because as Due Dissidents was doing its countdown, Keenan Russell mentioned that, hey, once it got to like this point in time, that's when everybody showed up. It's like they were following orders. Heaven forbid. And of course, everyone's saying, hey, Elon Musk has got to go. And with that, Elon Musk got up, crapped his pants, got in his spaceship, and flew to Mars. That did it, folks. No, that didn't do it. The group chanted as they paced up and down the sidewalk outside the dealership. They waved their signs in the air, an assortment of hand-drawn caricatures, digital graphics, and slogans that took aim at Elon Musk and a new Trump administration. Later on Saturday, I attended another protest outside a mall in Troy, Michigan, with a Tesla showroom. The gathering was smaller, close to 150 attendees, but more spirited. I noticed the crowds in Ann Arbor and Troy were primarily people over the age of 65, white, and retired from jobs that depended on public funding as teachers, professors at local universities, and social workers. Listen, you want to know why there aren't young people protesting? It's because it's expensive to live in this world, okay? It's very expensive, and I'm all for the right for assembly. I'm all for the right of free speech across the political spectrum. Libertarians, Greens, Socialists, Republicans, Democrats. No matter your age or the color of your skin or who you worship, what generation you're part of, you have the right to assemble. But I'm just gonna say this as an older millennial, because I guess I am one now. But as a millennial and as somebody who's seeing the crap storm that Gen Z has to go through, there's a reason why young people aren't going out. It's because they got bills to pay. That's why. So that's the truth of it. They leaned left on the political spectrum. Some describe themselves as anti-Trump or anti-Republican or pro-democracy. Others say they shifted from the Republican Party to the Democrat Party in their younger years, as appalled as they were with the current administration, though I noticed they were also disillusioned with the Democrats. I'm also not pleased with our Democrats. It's 77-year-old James Morse, who was protesting in Ann Arbor as a member of Indivisible, a grassroots organization for progressive causes that helped mobilize several protesters on Saturday. We need to put more pressure on them because this is a very unusual situation. It's not normal, and we need to resist in every way we can. So let's talk about resisting. Let's talk about the resistance. This is a whole treasure trove of resistors. Going ahead, not only are people protesting, but you're going up to somebody's private property.
On March 22nd, police say this is also Marrero spreading gum on a Tesla and spitting at it. Look at it right there. This all happened in the Aventura Mall's parking garage.
You think you were definitely targeted because of Elon Musk?
Absolutely. Without a doubt. Again, there was no personal interaction.
The victim, who didn't want to show his face, says he was targeted.
Unfortunately, a divide in our country where certain views that are not accepted by a subset.
So Local 10 airs the story Tuesday and Wednesday, and guess where Marrero was spotted on Thursday, say police? The food court at the Aventura Mall. An alert security guard gave cops the tip they need.
Why would you come back? Like, again, this is so stupid. Then you have geniuses like this.
Vandalizing a Tesla outside of Planet Fitness in Doylestown on Monday morning.
Like, look at you. Like, if you ever want to look suspicious, that's how you look suspicious, you stupid moron.
The victim says he found a swastika scratched into the side of the Tesla and then checked the vehicle surveillance video, which, well, recorded the incident. Employees at Planet Fitness were able to identify the man. Central Bucks Regional Police say he faces criminal mischief, harassment, and disorderly conduct. Vandalizing a Tesla outside of Planet.
Yeah, that's because that's what's going to get you, right? Again, if you're a progressive or liberal, why are you drawing swastikas? Look, you got all these people. Like, you think you're part of the resistance. This is not how you do it. You're drawing a symbol of hate, you morons. Like, look at all these people. They're moronic. They're moronic. This is not doing anything. And hey, look, here it is. Because this is what's going to get people to your side.
Tell me what democracy looks like. Tell me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Tell me what democracy looks like. Tell me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Tell me what democracy looks like. Tell me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Tell me what democracy looks like. Tell me.
And again, so authentic. Like, unless people were paid, unless people were given something here, this doesn't look organic at all. What's the point of protesting in front of a Tesla dealership? That is not, the Tesla dealership has no connections to any offices in Washington, D.C. The Tesla dealership has no connection to anyone within the administration, save for Elon Musk. And see, Tesla is completely separate from Doge. Unless you're only including that Elon Musk is there. And this is by no means a defense of Elon Musk, because there's ways to be critical of Elon Musk. This right here does a goddamn thing to anything. This is an absolute waste of time. And it does it come as a surprise of why the progressive movement is failing? because you have the Democrats easily hyping up people because a lot of people are emotionally charged and emotionally insensitive. And yes, I'm noticing that there is a lack of younger people protesting. Okay, there is a lack. And the reason why there's a lack is because people are struggling day in, day out. Like, again, what was the major thing that I was saying throughout the entire 2024 election cycle? The number one issue is the economy, the economy, the economy. People just don't have money, baby. They just don't have the money in their hip back pocket. They don't have the cash, the flow, the credit, nothing, the moolah. It's all gone. The juice. There is nothing to squeeze. So I'm all for the right for assembly. Yes, they have a right to protest. But what angers me and what raises me is when people start getting threatened and harassed, because not only are there ho-fest protests, glorified parades, but then you also have incidents in which people are threatened or people do get hurt. And I don't like seeing people get hurt. I can disagree with somebody. I can have a difference of opinion. But the minute when violence is done, when the minute you put your hands on somebody or you hurt somebody or you potentially end their life, you lose me.
We just learned that a 70-year-old man was arrested after Meridian police say he hit another man with his car during today's demonstrations at the Tesla dealership in Meridian. Police say 70-year-old Christopher Talbot of Meridian made an obscene gesture towards a counter-protester and then hit him with his car. Police say the victim had been driving a truck with pro-Trump flags and had just parked and gotten out of his car when Talbot hit him. The victim bound.
So in other words, a Trump protester, and let's face it, I mean, they, probably being there, laughing at them, all that kind of good stuff. But here's the thing. I'm going to laugh at these Tesla protesters because it does nothing. It does nothing because you know why? They can easily be triggered. Here, this is only a 34-second video because the last video should get all of you upset, but this one will probably make you laugh.
How you guys doing?
Now, you have this kid. He's asking these people, why are you protesting? How you doing?
You guys want to come out here today in support of the fascism that's happening here in the United States?
Support the fascism?
Well, do you believe? Well, you say Elon Musk is a Nazi.
To see him
Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Why would you do that, you moron? And why are you wearing a mask?
do that?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
you're doing right now, right?
That's a Nazi.
So
I'm not a
Are
Nazi.
you said
You know who says they're not a Nazi? A Nazi.
doing right now, right?
That's a Nazi.
So
I'm not a
Are
Nazi.
you said
One more time. I'm sorry. That's a Nazi. I'm not a Nazi.
See him do that?
yeah, like
Yeah.
you're doing right now, right?
That's a Nazi.
So
I'm not a
Are
Nazi.
you said
Only Nazis want Musk.
so you're not protesting because you want Elon Musk to be a Nazi?
Is this obvious? Isn't this obvious?
Well, only
Only Nazis want Musk. I'm not a Nazi. That is a really stupid sign. Hold on, one more time. I'm not a Nazi.
yeah, like
Yeah.
you're doing right now, right?
That's a Nazi.
So
I'm not a
Are
Nazi.
you said
Only Nazis want Musk.
so you're not protesting because you want Elon Musk to be a Nazi?
Is this obvious? Isn't this obvious?
Well, only Nazis want Musk. So I'm kind of confused.
We're not Nazis.
Oh, you guys
Only
aren't Nazis.
No.
Oh,
We're not Nazis. We're not Nazis. No, I'm not. Please don't take me to the Nuremberg trials. We were only following orders. But this video here is what I find to be very disturbing. Okay.
Take a look at this. This is video from the victim's Tesla camera. It shows a green car pulling up to a Tesla on busy Route 66, then swerving in front to box the Tesla in. The driver then walks over to the 61-year-old woman in the Tesla and reportedly starts hitting her while she's sitting behind the wheel. At one point, the woman says she bit the man's hand. Moments later, the passenger of the green car appears to walk over and pull the attacker away. They finally get back in their car and drive off. We spoke to the victim today, who said she was terrified and can't understand why anyone would do this.
I was just stunned, and I wished that I would have had someone with me that would have protected me. I'm just a.
So my full thoughts on these protests. I think not only are they a waste, but you're going to have some mentally deranged people who think they're part of the resistance, who don't like Trump or Elon Musk, take out their anger and fury at somebody. And you know what it's going to cause? You know what's going to cause? Mark my words. A person won't just get injured or hurt. Now, we did different video segments of where, you had one person who, a counter protester, get run over. You have a few other segments of people's private property being destroyed. And then you have this other incident of a passenger, a woman, being violently confronted by a driver on a busy highway. You want to know what could happen next? You're going to have some deranged, vote blue no matter who person who's triggered by Elon Musk or Donald Trump. And it could very well, unfortunately, heaven forbid it happens, take somebody's life. You could protest against Trump and Elon Musk, but there are ways to be critical about it. And currently, this stratagem, I saw this play out in 2016, and it led to nothing. Me and Daniel, both of us, the co-founders of Hard Lens Media, we covered some of those glorified parades at Trump Tower. You know what they did? Nothing. In those 4 years, they did that goddamn thing.
Appalled. I didn't buy my car for a political statement. I bought my car because it's really fun to drive. And my politics have nothing to do with that. And I'm ashamed of our society and what they're doing.
The victim, along with the other Tesla owner who received a threatening note and text, have both now signed up for a gun safety course at a gun range north of Flagstaff.
And say it with me. What could go wrong? Oh, so much. But adding more into this idea of maybe these protesters are being paid, maybe some of them are, maybe some of them aren't. I find a commentary by a lot of people saying, boy, they all were on time when they were doing this. And again, shout out to Due Dissidence for at least covering one of those Tesla protests. Like I said, folks, I'm really trying to gain the mental courage and build up the fortitude within me to even maybe considering covering a protest. But I'm noticing something, okay? Because there's like some dance moves here. Because I'm going to end this. Now it'll be muted because there's copyright music. But you remember during the pandemic when the nurses and doctors were all dancing, the climate change dance, the medical dance? Above, the Tesla protest dancing. Below, medical dancing. At the bottom, climate change dancing. Huh. It's almost as if it's all coordinated. It's almost as if it's all part of a plan. And it's almost as if they're all following the orders. Left foot, right foot. 2 steps. Do the cha-cha. Do it this way. Slide to the left. Slide to the right. Hold up your signs. 2 hands right now. Everybody clap your hands. This is all a clown show. And we're witnessing people act like clowns for free. But heaven forbid somebody loses their life, because I see that playing out. Because the more people who are mentally deranged and thinking they're part of this resistance, this isn't going to change things. Because I want to remind everybody, everything that you're seeing Elon Musk and Donald Trump do, they're very public about it. But don't forget, you were being screwed over decades ago by other presidents of different political parties. Ronnie Boy Reagan, old Bush Sr., Bill, the guy with so many scandals, Clinton. Bush Jr. was his puppeteer, Cheney. Obama, the hope and change. Then you had the first term of Trump, and then you had Biden, the senile old goat, and now Trump again. Don't you get it? Like you were being robbed decades ago. You were being screwed over decades ago. But protesting this and damaging people's property, this is how you cause a divide between Americans to be ongoing and continuous. Because you don't know that person in that Tesla car. You don't know that person who's driving on the road, no matter what vehicle they're driving in. You don't know what they're going through. And this is all going to blow up if it continues on this way, if people are becoming mentally deranged. And sadly, I see this powder keg that I keep warning about. It's going to explode. It'll be the biggest explosion ever. And who knows if we can come together, because the goal of the establishment is to keep us divided.